You already said something at the wrong time, and then wondered, why did I say that? Perhaps it was in a heated discussion or a moment of stress when the words simply escaped. We have all been through this, that sense of regret that weighs in the chest. Now imagine if there was a simple tool that you already have to avoid this chaos. Stoics, such as Marco Aurelio and Seneca, have known this for centuries. Silence. It is not about being quiet for fear or weakness, but about choosing silence as an act of power. In this video, I will show you 7 moments when shutting up can transform your life, bringing more clarity, self-control, and a peace that you didn't even know you could feel. Think about it. How many times has the noise of your words away from what really matters? Today, let's learn from Stoic philosophy, as silence can be your best choice. So stay with me, because these 7 moments are practical, real, and can change the way you face everyday life. Ready to find out how? If you were curious about how silence can be so powerful, let me tell you where this idea comes from. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy created by guys like Seneca and Marco Aurelio, which teaches a simple thing: control what depends on you and accepts what you can't change. It sounds basic, but it is revolutionary in the chaos of modern life. Work, accounts, social networks, all shouting for attention. And the silence. For them, it wasn't just being quiet. It was a secret weapon to dominate emotions and find calm in the middle of the storm. Marco Aurelio already said, "You have power over your mind, not about external events. Understand this, and you will find strength." Silence comes in as a superpower. It gives you room to breathe, think, and not drown in automatic reactions. So now that you took the spirit of the thing, how about applying it in practice? Let's dive in 7 moments of everyday life when choosing to be silent changes everything. The first, it's something everyone has ever felt, and I bet you too. Moment 1. When you are angry. Now that you have understood the basics of Stoicism, let's put this into action at the first moment, when you're angry. Do you know that heat that rises when someone teases or criticizes you for no reason? Like your boss drawing you attention in front of everyone, or a stupid comment that takes you seriously. The desire is to explode, send everything to space. But wait. The Stoic people have a better plan. Seneca, one of the big names in philosophy, said that anger is like temporary madness. She takes you, shakes you, and then drops you with a beautiful regret. The solution: silence. It is not swallowing frog, it is to choose the control. Imagine you take a deep breath, close your mouth, and let the moment pass. Suddenly, you're no longer the guy who shouted at the meeting. He is the adult of the room. The one that everyone respects because he has not lost his mind. This is personal power, man, and comes straight from silence. Think of a real example. You're at work, someone teases you with a beast joke, and blood boils. Instead of retorting and becoming a shout show, you get quiet. Look in the eyes, gives a half smile and leaves the scene. Who won? You. Anger has not dominated you, and the other person is embarrassed, having nothing to do with that silence. Stoics knew that anger is a fire that goes out alone if you don't throw more wood, and the benefit? You go out with your head in place, inner peace intact, and a force that no one explains. So the next time the wick lights up, remember this. Silent is not weakness, it's the first step in mastering your emotions. And if silence works in anger, imagine in a situation where you don't even know what to say. That is the next moment we will explore. Moment 2. When you don't know what to say. If silence saves you when anger hits, it also shines when you just don't have the right words. A second moment. Has it happened that a friend asked you for advice on something you have no idea? Like he asks how to invest in the bag, and you barely know where the coffee changed. The temptation is to invent, Something just not to be that emptiness, but the Stoic would say to it. For them, honesty is a sacred virtue, and speaking just by speaking is noise, not wisdom. Seneca wrote that silence is better than meaningless words, and looks makes perfect sense. So instead of curling, choose shut up. It can be a simple face, I don't know, or just listen carefully. It doesn't make you smaller, it makes you real. Think about it. Your friend is venting about a problem at work, and you have no experience to help. You get quiet, nodded, let him speak. In the end, he thanks you because sometimes silence is more support than a half-assed speech. The benefit here, of course, you gain clarity about your limits and show respect for those on the other side. No shame, no pretending to be who is not. Stoics saw this as a way of living with integrity, and today we call authenticity. It is silence putting you in charge, without forcing an answer that does not come from the heart. And do you know what is better? You avoid that regret of speaking bullshit, and still comes out like someone you think before opening your mouth. This is personal power in practice. Now, if shutting up works so as not to put your feet by your hands, imagine how it protects you in fights that are not even worth it. Our next moment. Moment 3. During an unnecessary conflict, if silence helps. You not speak bullshit when you don't know what to say. He's also your best friend at the third moment, during an unnecessary conflict. Do you know those discussions that take nowhere? Like a group on WhatsApp on fire because of politics, or a silly fight with someone who just wants to prove it is right. The desire is to get in the ring, let go of the verb and show who boss, but the Stoic people pull you by the shoulder and say, calm down, why? Marco Aurelio wrote that we should not waste energy on what doesn't matter. And seriously, 90% of these bullshit change nothing. The choice is simple, silence. It is not retreating, it is to protect your peace. Think of an example. You're on your cell phone, rolling an infinite thread about some polarized subject. Everyone screaming, nobody listening. You breathe, leave your finger quiet, and put the group on the silent. What happens? The world continues to spin, but you are not with a headache. This is Stoicism in real life. Focus on what you control, which is your reaction. The benefit? Instant inner peace. You don't wear yourself, you don't hostage a war of egos, and still go out with a light head to take care of what really is worth. Stoics knew that silence is like a shield. It shields you from the useless noise. Best of all, while others fight for attention, you're quiet, in charge of yourself. This is real power, the one that no one takes you away. Now, if shutting up saves you from meaningless conflicts, imagine what he does when someone is teasing you on purpose. Our next moment. Moment 4. When the other wants attention, if silence saves you from discussions that are not worth your time. It is also a trump card in the fourth moment, when the other wants attention. Do you know that kind that provokes you just to see you react? It can be a colleague at work with a sarcastic joke, or someone in the family who loves to press their buttons. The instinct is to retort, show that you do not bring home disallowance, but the Stoics have a smarter move. Marco Aurelio said, "Don't give them that power. If you answer, deliver control of the situation in the hand of those who poked you, but if you are silent, the provocation dies alone, such as fire without oxygen." This is you in charge. Imagine the scene. You're at the lunch table and someone lets out a comment to piss you off. You won't say anything about it. Instead of biting the bait, you give a light smile, take your glass of water, and let the silence speak. The provocative is embarrassed without audience, and the matter wilted. The benefit here is pure personal power. You don't let yourself drag to the game of others. Stoics saw this as a form of freedom, not being a slave to the emotions that someone wants to arouse in you. And the bonus? Inner peace. Nothing heartfelt or repentance by words thrown away. Silence becomes his armor, keeping you firm as the other is lost in the emptiness itself. It's simple but genius. Shut up disarms those who want to reach you. And if it works to neutralize provocations, wait until you see how it helps you think properly before making a decision. Our next moment. Moment 5. To reflect before deciding. If silence protects you from those who want to get you seriously, it is also gold in the 5th moment, to reflect before deciding. Life is full of choices that ask for calm, but we don't always realize. Did you receive a job proposal? Does anyone invite you to something big? The impulse is to answer on time, show that you are on top, but the Stoic people say, wait there. They valued reason above all, and Marco Aurelio wrote that we only judge well when to think. Silence is this space. It gives you a breath so as not to act by emotion or pressure. It's like squeezing the pause before squeezing yes or no. Think about it. Your boss offers you a promotion, but with more hours of work. You mean, of course, quickly, just to impress. Instead, asks for a day to think, is silent, take a notebook and lists the pros and cons. Suddenly, he sees that extra money is not worth the lost time with the family. Without silence, you would have jumped headlong into regret. The benefit: clarity and personal power. You don't get hostage to the hurry or opinion of others. Decide for you, with your head in place. Stoics called this to live with intention, and today we say that it owns our own choices. Silence takes you off the autopilot and puts you in charge. It's simple. Before you talk or act, shut up and see what really matters. And if he helps you decide with wisdom, imagine what you do when you face something you can't change. Our next moment, moment 6. Given what cannot change, if silence guides you to decide calmly, he is also a powerful ally at the 6th moment, in the face of what he cannot change. Life throws things in our face that run away from control. A delay in traffic, a rain that spoils the picnic, bad news that catches you off guard. The instinct is to complain, to curse the universe, but the Stoics have another idea. Epictetus, one of the masters of philosophy, said, "Don't ask things to happen as you want, but accept that they happen as they are." And guess how do you do that? Silence. It is not conforming to weakness. It is to choose peace instead of fighting the impossible. It is pure stoicism distilled in a simple attitude. Think of an ordinary day. You planned a barbecue, but the sky collapses. It makes you want to scream, "Why with me?" But you breathe, look out the window and get quiet. He accepts that the rain has come and thinks of plan B, a movie at home perhaps. Silence takes you from the cycle of frustration and returns your balance. The benefit here is inner peace, the one that comes when you stop fighting with what doesn't depend on you. Stoics saw this as freedom, not being a slave to circumstances. And the best? You do not spend energy for nothing. It is not brooding the "and if." Just let it roll. It's silence teaching you how to let go of what you can't hold, keeping your strength intact for what really matters. It works so well that you will want to use it even in good days like next time, when it becomes a way of finding yourself. Moment 7. To find inner peace. If silence helps you accept what doesn't change, it goes further in the 7th moment to find inner peace. After a running day, boss charging, mobile phone, noisy traffic, have you felt that you are losing contact with yourself? Stoics knew that we need a breath to get back to the center, and Marco Aurelio wrote about withdrawing into himself. The simplest way? Stay silent. It's not complicated meditation or expensive retreat. It's just you, 5 minutes, and stillness. It's like squeezing the reset in the middle of chaos, bringing a calm that the outside world doesn't give you. This is the heart of Stoicism, to find strength in tranquility. Try it. Comes home, turns off your phone, sits on the couch, and closes your eyes. You don't need mantra, just listen to your breath. The noise in the head decreases, the shoulders relax, and you feel a space that didn't know it existed. This silence is yours. Nobody takes you away. The benefit? Inner peace and personal power together. You are not running away from life. You are setting up to her with a light head and a firm heart. Stoics called it an internal fortress, a place where you send, not the circumstances. And the craziest, the more you practice, the more natural it gets. 5 minutes have seen a habit, and suddenly you are facing the day with a serenity that impresses. It's silence showing you who you can be, not only reacting but really living. After all this, anger, decisions, acceptance, this moment is the grand finale, you and your peace ready for anything. And now, how about gathering it all and seeing what changes in your life? If you find inner peace with silence made you stop to think, now imagine gathering it all. These 7 moments, from anger to chaos, from difficult decisions to the inevitable, show that shutting up is not empty, it is strength. Stoics, such as Marco Aurelio and Seneca, took this simple idea and turned into a way of living. Control what you can, accept the rest, and use silence as your tool. It's not about being quiet for fear, but by choice. A personal power that takes you out of the automatic and puts you in charge. You've seen, take a deep breath in anger. Listen instead of talking, ignoring useless bullshit, calmly deciding, accepting what comes. This is more than philosophy. It is practical for everyday life. And the result? Less stress, more clarity, a peace that does not explain. Now the ball is with you. How about testing these moments in your life? It starts small. Next time the blood boils, shut up for 10 seconds and see what rolls. Or turn off the phone tonight just to feel the silence. Tell me below what has changed. I want to know. If this video touched you, leaves a like, subscribe to the channel, and activates the bell for more Stoic lessons that fit in your pocket. Silence is not just a break, it is a superpower you already have. Just use. So go there, experience, and find out how 5 seconds of stillness can be worth 1,000 words. Until next time, and may your inner peace be as strong as your desire to improve.